Campus bad boy posted a lost and found on the confessions wall asking, "Who the hell stole his boxers?" The comment section was full of people laughing their asses off. But I was staring at the scrap of fabric in my hand, completely dumbfounded. Lace trim. Pure black silk, embroidered with his initials. It checked every single box. I originally wanted to pretend nothing happened like a normal person. But as a pile of boxers in my possession started growing day by day, I panicked. Bad boy was losing his mind. Because he literally had no underwear left to wear. I was losing my mind because, well, it was him. You probably won't believe a word I say. Within a 15-foot radius, I can control anything with my mind. I can unlock deadbolts, move heavy furniture and grab things out of thin air. Telekinesis, basically. But I have a really shitty habit. I sleepwalk. Honestly, I never thought this habit was a big deal until last Sunday. I woke up clutching a thermos that definitely wasn't mine. And things started feeling weird. Since that day, every single morning I wake up gripping a stranger's property. Gel pens, ties, men's hoodies, lecture notes to be precise. Items belonging to the opposite sex. And today, I woke up holding a pair of black silk boxers with fucking lace trim. Cough, kinda kinky. Accustomed to my own weirdness, I shoved them to the bottom of my junk box. I buried them under a file folder I'd apparently stolen in my sleep a few days ago. I didn't have an 8 a.m. lecture today, so after washing up, I laid in bed scrolling through the campus social feed. Suddenly I saw the lost and found post pinned to the top. My stomach dropped. User anonymous. Yo. Which fucking genius stole my underwear? Get a life. User anonymous. This has happened way too many times. I let the thermostat and pen slide. But stealing underwear? What kind of pervert are you? User anonymous. Maybe the wind blew them down, but I can't find them. If anyone finds black lace boxers embroidered with JC, bring them to room 416. Dorm 6. There's a cash reward. User anonymous. If someone is doing this on purpose, I'm warning you, get your ass to 416. Get on your knees and beg for forgiveness or I will end you. User anonymous. Fuck me. The more I think about it, the madder I get, you stupid freak. User anonymous, not anonymous. Thanks, wall. My pupils dilated, looking at the profile pic and the initials. It wasn't hard to guess that JC stood for Jackson Cole. The Jackson Cole, the guy who runs this school. My hands were shaking as I dug out the boxers that were literally stripped from the bottom of my stash. I compared them carefully. Black face embroidered with JC. Haha, I'm dead. He's cursing me out. Me? The cute little pervert. Trembling, I opened the comment section under Jackson's post. I nearly had a heart attack. Comment 1, LMAO. Is this real? Comment 2. New copy pasta just dropped. Anyone wanna go crazy on Thursday and steal some chart tea? Comment 3, WTF. People actually steal those. Comment 4, there are 3 types of people. The heartbroken guy missing his panties. The pervert about to get beat up and me eating popcorn. Comment 5, Jackson just typing on the wall. Why not just start swinging? Comment 6, black lace. I don't believe it. Send pics so I can verify. Drool. Comment 7, real talk. That's sick. I'd slap that pervert. Silly. Comment 8, disgusting. Please kick that freak's ass. Comment 9, serial offender. Huh? The public education system really failed us. Comment 10, thank you Jackson for fighting evil. Hope you cripple them. I was scared. I was genuinely terrified. I thought about it for a long time. How the hell do I avoid a unilateral beatdown? I couldn't just walk into the guy's dorm. And going directly to Jackson would probably result in me becoming handicapped. Then I thought of a brilliant plan. I just needed to hold the boxers before I went to sleep. If I could steal them while sleepwalking, surely I could put them back the same way. If I can take, I can give. I decided to do it immediately just in case. I put a reminder in my notes app. The next morning, I stared at the 2 pairs of boxers in my hand and fell silent. Apparently I can't put them back, but I can double my inventory. This method was flawed. Day 3 I woke up with yet another pair. God damn it. Do the old boxers and the new boxers breed in my hands at night? To make baby boxers? Day 4. I woke up holding another pair. The only difference was that this one had no wrinkles. It looked brand new. Day 5 morning holding brand new underwear. Reading Jackson's new status update. Calculating which country I should flee to. This time the wall posted a screenshot of his chat logs. Jackson had lost all patience. He threatened to gouge my eyes out, kick my crotch into jelly, and rip out my intestines. He also added that if I had any balls at all, I'd meet him in front of the gym at 8 p.m. tonight. I've been a law-abiding coward for 19 years. I can't handle this shit. Besides, I don't technically have balls anyway. After an intense mental battle and crippling guilt, I organized my junk box. I arranged all his stolen items neatly, hoping to score some sympathy points so he wouldn't hit me too hard. My roommate Chloe looked at me acting sketchy and rolled her eyes. Dressed in all black at night. Try looking both ways before crossing the street, so you don't get flattened. Don't jinx me bringing a box going treasure hunting. You wouldn't understand. You don't get it. I'm going to atone for my sins. I even stuffed $500 in the box. The gym was surrounded by circles of people. I checked my watch. 7:50 p.m. I squeezed forward a few rows but couldn't get any further. I tapped a guy on the shoulder. Hey, what's going on? Why is everyone here? Didn't you see the wall? We're catching a pervert. I got here at 6 just to get this spot. There are scalpers up front. Front row was $50 earlier. Now they're asking $150. I should have just paid the $50 when I had the chance. Looking at the sea of people, I instantly chickened out. I turned around and sprinted back to the dorm. I couldn't handle the humiliation. I just couldn't do it. I decided to try the sleepwalking return method one last time. Maybe tonight it would work. Since I didn't show up, Jackson exploded again. He went nuclear on the campus wall. The chat logs were full of mosaics and blurred text, probably containing a high concentration of F-bombs. Reading that post gave me so much anxiety. I didn't fall asleep until 2 a.m. When I woke up, I wasn't in my dorm. I was in a strange bed. I lifted a hand. I was holding a new pair of boxers. The good news, my other hand was holding the old pair. Ha ha ha. Finally success. My plan worked. Wait, why am I in a strange bed? Logically speaking, even if I sleepwalk, I usually wake up back in my own room. Voices drifted in from the door. Guys talking. Jax. That freak probably was too scared to show up. We guarded the door all night. Didn't see a damn thing. Yeah. My eyelids are fighting each other. I'm exhausted. Jackson rubbed his temples. Thanks, guys. We've got that 8 a.m. lecture today. No worries. We just wanted to see the drama. It wasn't even about catching a pervert anymore. Jax. Didn't you see the guys from the dorms next door? Bringing lawn chairs out to watch the show? The footsteps were getting closer. I didn't have time to think. I dove under the covers. Liberty, justice, freedom. Fuck. I hadn't finished reciting the Constitution when the blanket was ripped off. I moved faster than him, clamping my hand over his mouth. With a wave of my other hand, I telekinetically yanked the bed curtain shut tight. Then I put a finger to my lips. Please don't rat me out. If I get caught, I'll get expelled. From his shocked eyes, it wasn't hard to tell that he was, well, shocked. I pulled out the 2 pairs of boxers and placed them in his hand. Here. Returned. And this pair too. The one with your initials. Okay. His shocked eyes were now even more shocked. I used the nickname his roommates called him, Jax. Look, I can explain all of this. Oh, Jax. Why? Are you standing on the ladder? His roommate called out. Change your clothes fast. We gotta get to class. If we're late, we won't get seats. I shivered in terror, slowly removing my hand from his mouth, looking at him with pleading eyes. Don't expose me, please. Jackson Cole stared at me. His eyes were a shade of brown so dark they were almost black, currently wide with a mix of confusion, fury, and something that looked suspiciously like sleep deprivation. He was shirtless, his chest defined, and I tried not to look very close to my face. We were frozen in a tableau of absurdity. Me, huddled in the corner of his loft bed, clutching the duvet like a shield. Him, standing on the ladder, one hand gripping the rail, the other holding 2 pairs of boxers, one crumpled and old, one crisp and new. Jax, his roommate called again, closer this time. You good, man? You hit your head? Jackson didn't look away from me. His jaw tightened. I clasped my hands together in a silent prayer, mouthing please, please, please. He looked at the boxers in his hand. Then back at me. Then at the closed curtain. I'm fine, he called out, his voice rough. Just forgot where I put my shirt. Go ahead without me. I'll catch up. All right, suit yourself. Don't be late for Professor Miller, he locks the door. The sound of footsteps retreated, followed by the heavy thud of the dorm door closing. Silence descended on room 416. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding, slumping against the wall. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea. Shut up, Jackson hissed. He climbed the rest of the way up the ladder and sat on the edge of the bed, effectively trapping me. He held up the boxers. You, he said, pointing a finger at me. You're the pervert? I am not a pervert. I whispered furiously. I have a condition. Sleepwalking. And other stuff. Other stuff? He raised an eyebrow. Like kleptomania? Or a fetish for black silk? No. Things happen when I sleep. I don't control it. Look, I brought them back. And I brought the new ones as interest. That's fair, right? He stared at me for a long moment, processing. You brought them back, while I was sleeping in this bed? Apparently. So you broke into my room, climbed up my ladder, and... He trailed off, realization dawning on his face. Wait. Where did you sleep? I pointed to the sliver of space next to the wall. There. It's surprisingly comfortable. Jackson rubbed his face with his hands. I slept next to the underwear thief. And I didn't even wake up. My reputation is ruined. Your reputation is fine, I assured him. No one knows but us. And I promise, I won't do it again. I'm leaving now. I'm moving to Alaska. It was nice knowing you. I tried to scooch past him toward the ladder. He blocked me with an arm that felt like a steel bar. Not so fast, Houdini, he growled. You think you can just terrorize me for a week, steal half my wardrobe, and then sneak out? Where's the rest of my stuff? In a box, I squeaked. In my dorm. I was going to bring it to the gym, but there were too many people. The thermos? Yes. The hoodie? My favorite hoodie? It's safe. It smells like detergent now. He narrowed his eyes. You washed it? It was dusty. He let out a short, incredulous laugh. Unbelievable. Okay, here's the deal. You're going to give me my stuff back. All of it. Today. Done, I said instantly. I'll leave it outside your door. No, he said. You're going to bring it to me personally. And you're going to explain how the hell you got into a locked dorm room without waking anyone up. Because if you have a key, I'm calling the cops. I hesitated. I don't have a key. Then how? I looked at the lock on the door across the room. I focused. Click. The deadbolt slid open. Jackson whipped his head around at the sound. He looked at the door, then back at me. The wind, he suggested weakly. Sure, I said. Let's go with wind. He stared at me, a new kind of intensity in his eyes. Not anger anymore. Curiosity. And maybe a little bit of fear. Who are you? He whispered. Just a girl who needs to leave before your roommates come back for their chargers, I said. I didn't wait for permission this time. I used a tiny push of my mind to nudge him gently aside, just enough to clear the path, and scrambled down the ladder. I ran out of the dorm, ignoring the confused looks from guys in the hallway seeing a girl sprint out of room 416 at 7:45 a.m. I made it back to my own room, locked the door, and collapsed on the floor. Safe. For now. Chapter 3, The Negotiation. The next few hours were a blur of anxiety. I skipped my classes, sorry, Mom, and paced around my room, staring at the box of stolen goods. At noon, my phone buzzed. A notification from the campus confessions wall. User anonymous, to the thief. I know who you are. Meet me at the library, 3rd floor, back corner. 2 p.m. Bring the box. Or I post the security footage from the hallway. My heart stopped. Of course. Dorm hallways have cameras. He knew my face. I packed the box. I put on a hat and sunglasses, looking even more suspicious than usual. I dragged the box of shame to the library. Jackson was waiting at a table hidden behind the stacks of dusty history books. He was wearing the shirt he had been looking for earlier, and he looked calm. Dangerously calm. I sat down opposite him and slid the box across the table. Here, I whispered. Everything. The thermos, the pens, the hoodie. Even the lecture notes from Bio 101. He opened the box and sifted through it. He picked up the hoodie and inspected it. You used lavender detergent, he noted. Is that a problem? I'm allergic to lavender. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I can rewash it. Relax, he said, putting it down. I'm kidding. I like lavender. He leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms. So. Telekinesis. I froze. I don't know what you're talking about. The door unlocked itself. You moved me on the ladder without touching me. And unless you're Spider-Man, there's no way you climbed up there without shaking the bed. I sighed, taking off my sunglasses. Fine. Yes. Telekinesis. But I can't control it when I sleep. That's why I steal things. It's like my subconscious is a magpie. And your subconscious likes my underwear? I turned bright red. It likes black silk. It's a texture thing. I swear. He smirked. It was a devastating smirk. The kind that probably got him whatever he wanted, minus the boxers. Okay, he said. I believe you. Mostly because the alternative is that you're a ninja pervert, and you trip over your own feet too much for that. Hey. Here's the situation, Jackson said, leaning forward. You have a secret. I have a secret. What's your secret? I asked. That you wear lace-trimmed underwear? That's not a secret anymore, thanks to you, he deadpanned. No. My secret is that I'm failing physics. I blinked. You? The king of campus? Mr. 4.0 GPA? It's a facade, he admitted. I'm good at everything else. Business, lit, history. But physics? It's like reading alien hieroglyphs. And if I fail, I lose my scholarship. And my dad kills me. Okay. I said slowly. And this concerns me because you, he pointed a pen at me, can move things with your mind. Which means you understand forces, vectors, and momentum on an intuitive level. You're going to tutor me. I'm an art history major, I said. He stared at me. You have telekinesis and you study art history? It helps with hanging paintings. Look, he said. I don't care what your major is. You owe me. Big time. You stole my dignity. You stole my comfort. Now you're going to help me pass the midterm next week. And if I can't? Then I post the footage. And I tell everyone that the underwear thief is actually a supernatural being. You think the government labs are fun this time of year? It was a low blow. A very effective low blow. Fine, I grumbled. Physics. But no one can know about the, Deal, he said, extending a hand. I shook it. His grip was warm and firm. By the way, he said, not letting go. My name is Jackson. But you can call me Jax. Since you've already been in my bed. I pulled my hand away, burning. Shut up. Chapter 4, The Tutor and the Thief. Tutoring Jackson Cole was an experience. We met every night in the library basement, where it was quiet. I discovered that for a guy who ran the social scene, he was surprisingly nerdy. He highlighted everything. He used color-coded sticky notes. No, Jax, I said, floating a pencil in the air to demonstrate. Gravity pulls down. The normal force pushes up. If they're equal, the pencil stays here. He watched the pencil hovering at eye level. Show off. It's visual learning, I said, dropping the pencil onto his notebook. Now solve for X. We fell into a rhythm. He would struggle with a concept, I would use my powers to illustrate it, and he would eventually get it. In return, he stopped posting on the confessions wall. The campus moved on to the next drama, someone put dish soap in the fountain, and I faded back into obscurity. Mostly. Because spending 3 hours a day with the most popular guy on campus draws attention. Why are you hanging out with Jackson Cole? Chloe asked me one night, eyeing me suspiciously over her ramen noodles. We're studying, I lied. You're studying physics? You thought Star Wars was a documentary. He's helping me with gym, I improvised. He's my personal trainer. Chloe snorted. Right. And I'm dating the dean. But the rumors started. Is Jackson dating the quiet girl? Why are they always whispering in the library? It came to a head on Friday. We were leaving the library when a group of his friends cornered us. Jax, a tall guy with a backward cap, yelled. We're heading to the loft. You coming? Jackson hesitated, looking at me. Nah, I gotta study. Study? The guy laughed, looking me up and down. Is that what we're calling it now? Who's this? This is. Jackson paused. This is my tutor. Mia. Tutor, the guy smirked. Right. Well, bring the tutor. Unless she's allergic to fun. I started to back away. I have to go. Jackson grabbed my arm. She's coming. He looked at me, a silent plea in his eyes. Please don't leave me with these idiots. I sighed. Fine. But if there's dancing, I'm leaving. I have 2 left feet. I'll lead, he whispered. The loft was loud, crowded, and smelled like cheap beer. Jackson kept me close, his hand on the small of my back to guide me through the crush. It felt nice. Protective. We found a booth in the corner. His friends were loud, joking about parties and girls. I stayed quiet, sipping my soda. Then, the topic shifted. So, did you ever catch the panty thief? One guy asked, laughing. I choked on my Sprite. Jackson patted my back, hard. Yeah, Jax. What happened to the vendetta? I handled it, Jackson said coolly, taking a sip of his drink. Found out who it was. Who? Everyone leaned in. Just some confused freshman, he lied smoothly. Returned everything. Apologized. We're cool. Did you beat him up? Nah, Jackson looked at me, a small smile playing on his lips. She was too cute to hit. The table erupted. She? It was a girl? Wait, is that why you're tutoring Mia? The backward cap guy asked, eyes wide. Is she the thief? Silence. I froze. Jackson froze. Then Jackson laughed. It was a relaxed, confident sound. Mia? No way. Mia's too smart to get caught. Besides, if she stole my boxers, she wouldn't give them back. He winked at me. I kicked him under the table. The tension broke. The conversation moved on. But for the rest of the night, Jackson kept his arm draped over the back of the booth behind me, his fingers brushing my shoulder. And I realized, with a sinking feeling, that I wasn't just stealing his boxers anymore. I was starting to steal his attention. And maybe, just maybe, he was stealing my heart. Chapter 5, The Sleepwalking Incident, Part 2. The midterm came and went. Jackson crushed it. He got a 92. I did it, he shouted, finding me in the quad and picking me up in a bear hug, spinning me around. Put me down. I laughed, swatting his shoulder. People are staring. Let them stare, he beamed, setting me down but not letting go of my waist. You're a genius, Mia. A magical genius. You did the work, Jax. I had good motivation, he said softly, looking into my eyes. The air between us charged with something static. He leaned in closer. I held my breath. Then, my phone rang. It was Chloe. Where are you? Dorm inspection in 10 minutes. Hide the toaster. I gotta go, I stammered, pulling away. Wait, Jackson said. Tonight. Celebration dinner. My treat. No physics. Okay, I said. Okay. That night, we went to a small Italian place off campus. We talked for hours. Not about school or powers, but about real things. His fear of disappointing his dad. My anxiety about the future. He walked me back to my dorm. At the door, he lingered. So, he said. Does this mean I get my boxers back permanently? You already have them, I rolled my eyes. I meant, never mind. He leaned down and kissed me on the cheek. Good night, thief. Good night, Jax. I went to bed floating on a cloud. I fell asleep smiling. And then, disaster struck. I woke up the next morning cold. Very cold. I opened my eyes. I wasn't in my bed. I was standing in the middle of the campus quad. in my pajamas, holding a giant, inflatable mascot head. The rival team's mascot. A badger. Oh no, I whispered. People were walking to class. They stopped. They stared. Phones came out. I had sleepwalked out of the dorm, across campus, stolen a mascot head, and woken up in the center of attention. Panic flared. Real, blinding panic. I dropped the head and ran. I made it back to my dorm before the RAs caught me, but the damage was done. By noon, the video was viral. The badger thief strikes. But this time, it wasn't anonymous. My face was clear in the morning light. I locked myself in my room. Chloe was banging on the door. Mia. Open up. Why did you steal the badger? My phone buzzed. Jackson. Jax, I saw the video. Are you okay? Jax, Mia, answer me. Jax, I'm coming over. 10 minutes later, he was at my door. Mia, open up or I pick the lock. I opened it. I was crying. I can't control it, I sobbed. It's getting worse. The boxers were funny. This is. I'm going to get expelled. Jackson stepped in and closed the door. He pulled me into a hug. You're not getting expelled, he said firmly. We'll fix this. How? Everyone saw me. They saw a girl holding a badger, he said. They didn't see you steal it. We can spin this. Spin it? Yeah. It was a prank war. A dare. You're pledging a sorority. Anything. I don't pledge sororities, Jax. I sleepwalk and steal things because my brain is broken. Your brain isn't broken, he said, pulling back to look at me. It's powerful. Maybe you just need an anchor. An anchor? Something to keep you grounded. Literally. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a length of black silk. It was the lace trim from the first pair of boxers I stole. He had cut it off. Tie this around your wrist at night, he said, tying it gently onto my arm. And tie the other end to your bedpost. I stared at the makeshift leash. You want me to tie myself up with your underwear? It's symbolic, he grinned. And practical. If you try to leave, you'll feel the tug. It might wake you up. And if it doesn't? Then I'll just have to come sleep over and hold you down, he shrugged. I laughed, a wet, hiccuping sound. You're an idiot. I'm your idiot, he said. Chapter 6, The Final Confession. The tether worked. For a week, I woke up with my wrist tugging against the bedpost, but I was safe in my own bed. But the real test was coming. The end-of-year formal. Jackson asked me to go. Properly. With flowers and everything. We arrived together. He looked devastating in a tuxedo. I wore a blue dress that I had actually bought, not stolen. We danced. We laughed. It was perfect. Then, the DJ stopped the music. All right everyone, the DJ announced. Before we continue, we have a special lost and found announcement. My stomach dropped. Someone found a collection of items in the gym locker room, the DJ said. Including a lot of black silk boxers. The crowd laughed. Jackson stiffened beside me. Whoever owns these, the DJ held up a bag, please come claim them. Initials JC. I looked at Jackson. He looked at me. I thought you returned them all, he whispered. I did. I hissed. Those aren't the ones I stole. Then, a guy stepped forward. It was the backward cap guy from the bar. Mike. Actually, Mike grabbed the mic, those are mine. My name is Mike Johnson. MJ. But the embroidery guy messed up the M. The crowd roared with laughter. Jackson stared at his friend. Mike? Mike winked at us from the stage. Yeah, yeah. Laugh it up. I like silk. It breathes. He saved us. He took the fall for the underwear scandal. Jackson let out a long breath. He turned to me, a huge grin splitting his face. Well, he said. That settles that. He knows, I realized. He knows it was me. He knows I like you, Jackson said. And Mike's a good bro. He's got my back. He pulled me closer. The slow song started playing. So, he whispered in my ear. No more secrets? No more secrets, I agreed. Good. Because I have one more confession for the wall. Oh no. What? I'm thinking of posting, to the girl who stole my boxers, you can keep them. As long as you keep me too. I buried my face in his chest to hide my blush. That is so cheesy. Please don't. Too late, he said, showing me his phone. Already posted. I looked at the screen. The post was there. And the comments were already flooding in. Comment 1, ah. Comment 2, wait, so they're dating now? Comment 3, best redemption arc ever. Comment 4, I still want to know how she got into the room. I looked up at him. He kissed me. And for the first time in my life, I felt completely, totally grounded. No telekinesis needed. I squeezed his hand. By the way, I whispered. I might have stolen your watch while we were dancing. He checked his wrist. It was bare. He laughed. Keep it. I have all the time in the world for you. The end.